appears to be an obvious gunshot wound to the head. We get casings all over the place. We're still trying to figure out what's going on.
A brutal execution-style murder sends detectives scrambling for answers.
When was the last time you talked to him? A couple days ago?
The investigation uncovers dark family secrets and a chilling motive.
So we got spatter.
Spatter that way. Holes going through the ground. You can see the holes coming out of the ceiling in the kitchen going out that window.
But what begins as a manhunt spirals into a deadly standoff. On August 9th, 2018, 60-year-old Jane Warren calls 911 when her husband fails to answer the door to their home in Beachwood, Ohio.
What's going on there?
I just got home from vacation with my family, and I didn't have a key to come in the house. And I see that my husband's cars are here. He's knocking on the door trying to get in.
Okay, so you think your husband's in the house?
I'm assuming that he is, because we have 3 cars. All 3 cars are here.
Okay, I'm gonna start the ambulance and the police over to your address. Okay.
When police arrive at the residence, they are greeted by a neighbor who is with Jane outside.
Hi. What's going on?
She came home from vacation and she can't get in. Her husband's not answering the door. It looked like some bullet holes or some kind of holes in the back window.
Okay.
Just like, I don't know, broken glass and stuff.
Ma'am, where did you go?
Well, I went to London. My husband and I were supposed to go to London with my sister and brother-in-law.
Jane explains that her husband, 59-year-old Dr. Richard Warren, was supposed to go with her on the trip to London, but fell ill and decided to stay home. She mentions that in the last few days, he hasn't been answering his phone. Upon returning from the trip, she finds herself locked out, having left her keys behind. More officers go around the back to inspect the house.
Inside?
497.
Down below that window.
As they examine the area, they discover multiple windows with holes, possibly from gunshots.
I'm gonna go peek in the window.
We don't know yet, John.
Is that a dog in the window?
Dog's over there.
Yeah.
See how the hole is higher in the screen than it is in the window?
All right. Well, we have to get in there here at some point and check things out.
With all the doors locked and Jane without her keys, officers manage to open the garage and prepare to break through the door that leads into the house, determined to uncover what happened to Richard.
Let's do it.
Copy.
Here, John. You got one on your gun.
Beachwood Police!
Anybody home? Police department? Hi, guys. I'm going left here for a moment.
Please go left here.
Hi, puppies. Police department. Good over here. Hi, guys.
Beachwood Police!
Come on, guys.
It's okay.
Police department. Anybody here?
You're on the left, Chris.
Huh?
You're on the left.
All right, he's down. Send the squad.
Richard is found face down in his bedroom with a gunshot wound to the head.
Let's clear everything out here real quick, guys, just to make sure.
Where's the rifle?
Oh, there is?
There's a rifle round. That's a rifle round. There's 3 more rifle rounds over here.
The bullet's entry at the back of his skull points to a homicide.
Did we ever find a weapon or no?
No, we haven't.
All right.
Look, spatter goes that way.
So we got spatter.
Spatter that way. Holes going through the ground. You can see the holes coming out of the ceiling in the kitchen going out that window.
Okay. So we have holes downstairs and we have stuff up here.
Holes in the ceiling.
All right, let's watch what we're stepping on. John, get a hold of Cornick, please. Hey, let's do a sweep here real quick. Under the circumstances, I got a round over here.
Around here, a live one.
After securing the scene, officers step outside to speak with EMTs.
All right. He's upstairs. Appears to be an obvious gunshot wound to the head. We get casings all over the place. We're still trying to figure out what's going on. We haven't found any weapons. So doors were locked. We can't find a gun. This is a crime scene.
I mean,
to us, it's obvious. If you guys need to come up and...
we don't need to if it's obvious.
Police scene.
So...
Yeah, we just call Wiki to double check.
If you want to come up...
If it's
less people
injuries incompatible with life and it's a crime scene, then...
So he's got a wound to the back of the head, but that's all we got.
The officers deliver the tragic news to Jane, leaving her devastated, and she is soon taken to the hospital for an evaluation. Meanwhile, an investigator speaks with the neighbor, who mentioned seeing Richard 2 days ago, and says that after Jane returned home from her trip, she spoke with him before calling 911, and their conversation raises some suspicions.
I asked her why she couldn't get in. So she said because she didn't have her key. Then she asked if I could use my phone to call. So I'm like, I'm happy to call, but like, where's your phone? So there's this whole thing about a smartphone and this and that, and like, where's your dumb phone? She's like, I don't have it. It was just a little weird.
Where's your what phone?
Your dumb, your non-smartphone.
Oh,
your dumb
okay.
phone. Like, where's your non-smartphone? She's like, I don't have it anymore.
Okay.
I'm like, that's weird.
A man approaches the crime scene, seemingly unaware of what's happening, but will soon play an important role in the investigation.
What happened? Stay here. Who are you related to?
Richard.
Richard? Okay.
What happened?
Who are you to him?
I'm his brother's brother-in-law. They sent me over here now. He's over visiting his father. I'm very close with him. I was just here with him for 3 hours.
Today?
Yesterday? 2 days ago. His wife was in London.
Lieutenant?
Yes.
He's a family member.
Hi. Can you give me just a moment and I'll be right with you?
What happened? Is he alive?
He has passed, and that's what we're looking into. Okay? So that's the most I can tell you right now. And we're in a type of situation like this.
We can't.
Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay.
We have to look further into it.
We can't. There's nothing that we're going to be able to tell you right now.
Is his wife in there with him?
No. She went to the hospital.
After collecting himself, the man reveals he's Richard's lawyer and shares details about Richard's finances, potentially uncovering a motive behind the crime.
He's been asking me the last several weeks. I mean, periodically he's calling me. And again, I saw him for 3.5 hours the other day with my kids to change the trustee on his trust.
How do you interpret this information?
I'm just telling you that I saw him the other day. His wife was in London. And this is for nobody's information except for you, as you're doing your investigation. He got on the plane and he got sick, and he couldn't make it to London. And his wife went over there and didn't contact him for about 10 days. And he was distraught over that. He was distraught over the fact that she was not. He would get a text or something, but that was it. And he said that to me about 5 times while we were sitting there.
He goes on to reveal deep-rooted family tensions that had been weighing heavily on Richard.
He went through a very bad divorce about 10 years ago. His 2 kids are estranged and completely screwed up from it.
Richard's 2 sons from a previous marriage, 31-year-old Michael and 29-year-old Mark, never got along with Jane, whom Richard married 10 years ago. The tension drove a wedge between them and their father. Now investigators are eager to speak with Jane, hoping she can shed light on what really happened to her husband.
Jane, I'm going to have to ask you this. Did you do anything to your husband? Do you own any guns?
No.
Have you ever fired a gun?
No.
She tells investigators that the trip was planned for their anniversary, to be shared with her sister and brother-in-law, But when Richard decided not to go, she became angry. During the 10-day trip, she only spoke to him during the first couple of days, using her sister's phone because she had left hers and her keys at home.
After Monday, July 30th, did you talk to him anymore? Either by phone or text or any type of communication?
I ignored him. He didn't try to contact me,
Okay.
and I didn't. And that's kind of how we are. Instead of getting into an argument, which was the silent treatment.
She explains her strained relationship with Richard's sons, who are financially dependent on him, living in a home he bought and driving cars he paid for, without jobs of their own.
They didn't like me dating their father.
Okay.
I don't think they liked many people.
No.
They wanted their father to give him everything, and they didn't want to work on the latest thing that they told him, was that you made me, and so you have to take care of us. And I mean, I know I'm talking bad about them. That's all they ever talk about. Money, 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 money. My husband was telling me that. He goes, I'm going to write him a letter. I'm going to tell him that at the end of the year, they have to find a job.
Jane recalls a past incident when Michael and Mark entered the home without permission, forcing her to hide in the bathroom and call the police. After officers escorted them out, they threatened Richard.
The police came back till probably like midnight that night. Then they told Richard, they said, you need to tell your wife what you told me. And they said that Mark and Michael pushed him, and they said they were going to chop him up.
They threatened to chop him up? And which one of the boys said it?
Michael.
Michael said that.
I'm afraid of him.
Why are you afraid of him?
You don't know what he's thinking.
After the incident, Richard requests that his sons be removed from his will. Investigators search the home for more clues and make a startling discovery: a looted safe in the basement, now empty. It had held Richard's most critical legal documents, including investment papers, property records, and his will. Aside from Richard, the only people who know the combination are his sons. As the pieces start falling into place, Richard's nephew Jason provides even more alarming information.
My uncle was a podiatrist. He came over my house to help me with an ingrown toenail.
Okay.
And we were just talking. You know, we didn't talk very often, but we were talking, and I asked him how everything was, and you know how things are going with his sons. And he said, "I don't know. He said, I'm worried. I hope they don't do anything to me. But I will tell you that I would not feel comfortable. If I saw them, I wouldn't invite them in my house. They're not stable."
With Michael and Mark now suspects in their father's murder, a SWAT team drives an armored vehicle equipped with a battering ram to their home, fully aware they could be armed and dangerous. As they pull up to the front door, the two brothers are anything but welcoming. The driver is caught by surprise as multiple rounds strike the bulletproof windshield. The SWAT team responds by breaking through the front of the house with the battering ram. After a 10-hour standoff, authorities finally make entry into the house and find Mark and Michael dead in an upstairs bedroom from gunshot wounds. Investigators determined that either they had killed each other or taken their own lives. The tragedy shakes the community to its core, as detectives suspect that when Richard chose to cut his sons off financially, they stormed his home, shot their father, and took his financial documents from the safe. In the end, their greed led to the worst imaginable outcome: a family forever shattered, torn apart by a decision that was never worth the price.